tell me what the Mississippi Freedom Houses Project is all about.
Yes, so the Mississippi Heritage Trust listed Mississippi's Freedom Houses as one of our 10 most endangered historic places back in 2019. And since then, we've been working to build a support system for the people who own these buildings that tell the story of Mississippi's fight for civil rights and social justice, to restore them and put them back into service to further those goals for our democracy.
Gotcha. So when you talk about freedom and you think about a house, is this like where we came to have a party or to get together and decide how we're going to get our freedom? Are we planning things? What were they doing in these houses?
I hope they were having parties, but it was more related to Freedom Summer of 1964 and the push for voters' rights for African Americans in Mississippi and America.
Gotcha. So a lot of people typically don't know about Freedom Summer still. We've been talking about it for a while. But why is this a perfect time for them to come to the event you have coming up soon?
Oh, yes. Well, it's the 60th anniversary of Freedom Summer, and this was a very intense time in Mississippi's history for this push for equal rights for all citizens. So with Mississippi Heritage Trust, our mission is related to historic preservation places. So throughout the state, there are buildings that help to tell the story of civil rights, and we hope to see those repurposed and to continue to help build a more just and equitable society.
Gotcha. So for folks who are like, this sounds cool and all, but I feel like there's more to the story. There's more I want to see. What is happening on the 27th?
Oh, well, we're going to have a screening of 5 film vignettes, short films that tell the story of places like the Indianola Freedom House and the Knoxo Freedom Schools. So we'll be gathering at Smith Robertson Museum in Jackson and watching films and talking about how do we save these places? What do we do with this history to ensure that it has a future?
Gotcha. And then going back to kind of like such a time as this, you know, we are talking about an election year. We are looking back over our history and things like that. Why do you think it's so important for people to pay attention right now if they haven't seen it?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think that's a great point. I want to live in a just and equitable society, and I think most people do. And we look back to our history and the fight that people took on to say, this is important, this is what's right, how do we accomplish the larger mission, the larger vision of what type of society we want to live in, and that's what people did during Freedom Summer. I admire their courage and tenacity, and this is a way to honor that and build on it for the future.
Gotcha. So September 27th, the Smith Robertson Museum. Any other details the folks need to know?
Well, please come join us. Well, there'll be food, so we'll have refreshments. All of the partners in the Mississippi Freedom Houses Project will be there. The folks that have Freedom Houses that are working toward building support to restore them and repurpose them will be there to talk about their efforts. So it'll be a real coming together, and hopefully out of this effort we see forward movement and building support for the restoration of these important historic buildings.
Gotcha. And last, any way we can support your organization, any website you want to send us to?
Absolutely. MississippiHeritage.com. Please become a member and help us to save and renew places meaningful to Mississippians and their history.